Today we're going to be talking about Viking seaxes. Hello there, I'm Egil Thorson and I'm a warrior. I am a scop, runecaster and a bit of a history geek. When you think of Vikings, you think of Vikings carrying this, which is a sword. To be honest with you, that wasn't really a common weapon at all. So I'll just put this down. What they had was a knife called a seax. I think it's worth mentioning that the word seax means knife, and it's Anglo-Saxon in origin. So the Anglo-Saxons were the English knife people. They came in various sizes. The most common size would be, well, this would be the smallest one. This is not a child's knife. It's actually useful for cutting stuff, and this one is a pattern welded. That means that the metals are made of rods of iron twisted with a steel outer core, so it's both flexible and maintains a sharp edge. We'll put that one down. This would probably be the most common size of all. This is for eating, general purposes, and also a sign of your freedom. When the law courts were called, these would be raised up to register your vote for or against. So, useful tool. We then come on to the big boys, the langseax. And this is a weapon, I think you'll agree. It is pretty formidable and it's cheaper than a sword. It is an amazing piece of work. And for those of you who are able to go to the British Museum, there is a thing called the seax, and that's a beautiful piece where the handle's gone, but in gold is picked out in Saxon runes. I think this is probably out of our period, but hey, well worth a mention. So anyway, this is used as a hacking. There's not much of a point on it, but still a very useful thing. Some people preferred single-edged weapons, and this particular baby comes from Norway. How do we know it's from Norway? Well, if we turn it up this way, look at the pommel. The triangular pommel means it's from Norway. If it was like a loaf of bread, it's English, and if it's just a dome, it's Danish. That's usually a rule of thumb, but here we go. It looks like a sword, and to all intents and purposes it is, but it has the one single edge. So again, hacking. That is the whole thing. And you were judged by the strength of your blow. If you start prodding people with it, they thought very little of you. So these are the major types of seax. We will go into greater detail. But they are jolly useful. Even one as little as this would be quite high status. You think, oh, it's all little, what does it matter? Well, where do you get metal from? Today you'd go to, I don't know, a steel yard or you'd salvage a piece from a motor car or something like that. But to make steel that's useful, you've got a lot of work. You have to find this stone called bog iron. It's very brown, rusty colour. You then break it up. You then heat it up. From that you scrape off the residue that's called slag. Then you have to form the rods. Once you've formed iron rods, that's your iron part. So steel, you heat it up and it's the carbon that's in that particular iron that makes steel. Not as easy as you think. Some smiths were master smiths and their steel was not exceeded until the 19th century. Some were terrible. You get your rods, you twist them, and you twist them all together to make one long rope. You hammer it out. Then with the steel, which is your cutting edge, you heat weld to that, and you're losing about a third of all your metal. So already it sounds a little bit busy, and alright, higher grade, higher you were in society, yes, you could afford pattern welded, But even iron made into steel, or little bits of steel, it's still a lot of work and a hard task to do. And this is where swords, saxes get their magical thing from. You're turning stone into metal. And Bragg is lurking off camera. What can I do for you? But so anyway, that's basically it. We will do longer ones, and we will go into the Anglo-Saxon saxes, which are a bit different. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little chat, and we'll show a lot of close-ups here. And this beautiful piece of kit is, there you go. Look at that. That's, you see there, you have the single edge, which would have been razor sharp. And the next one, oh yes, another, again a beautiful piece of work with the ergonomic handle. So ergonomic handles are not new things. Again, a fighting weapon. And then we come to eating time and ordinary Viking in the street sort of thing. And then we have this. This would probably be used by a housewife to cut threads to help prepare vegetables. I know it's small, but it's very effective. Anyway, we will be featuring a video later on with a Viking langseax in combat. And guess who's going to be the dummy who's going to get beaten? Guessed right, it's going to be me. So while I get this one in and book my hospital bed, we shall say ta-ta. But like I say, don't forget to subscribe. We'll get in contact to be able to tell you things in advance of what's happening, and leave us a comment. And if you have an opinion, please leave that as well. We're always happy to hear from you. So until we meet again, bye, farewell.